Okay, so tell me a little bit about Specialisterne. How did it come about?
Sure. Specialisterne was founded in 2004 by Torkel Sone with a mission to enable meaningful employment for autistic and similarly neurodivergent individuals.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what services do you provide at Specialisterne? If you can
We
get
have
into
a
that.
yeah, we have a full suite of services, Laszlo. We have education and awareness sessions because we think that education is the foundation of everything that we do. We have advisory services so that we can help organizations depending on what their strategy for creating inclusion is. We have e-learning that really does fall under the education umbrella. We have our marquee, which is neurodiversity hiring initiative. So when an organization decides that they want to begin hiring people, we can help them through that process. We have workplace support, which some people consider coaching, but we really do put a lot of emphasis and put a lot of pride in that because we work with both the individuals who are newly employed as well as hiring managers, because what we really do stand behind is the fact that we want to make the environment neuro-inclusive. So we don't just put focus on the new hire. We really want to make sure that the teams within the organization are also working together to ensure a successful element is created. And last but definitely not least, we work in environments that are ahead of the employment trajectory in the education system. So we have what's called work integrated learning. We have RAP programs so that we can help with career preparation, so that maybe some people are not going on the traditional college route. And we want to help to create for college capable, as well as just that initial transition out of the high school setting into the workplace, and help with programs that facilitate that process as well. So it's quite a lot that we do, but we really care about this mission. So we want to make sure we've got all the bases covered.
Mm-hmm. You talked a little bit about the services that you offer. My next question is, who are the stakeholders involved in that kind of process? Who are like the key players, so to speak?
So the stakeholders are as broad as the services that we provide, because we see ourselves as a bridge between the employers and the employees. And those employees are obviously starting off as candidates. So they may begin as students and then become the candidates and then become the eventual employees. So we reach out to everyone because we really want to bring all of those groups together so that they can become collaborative, and then they can become the new teams that go forward and are really working together for a successful future,
Mm-hmm.
working together.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the impact that your organization has on communities as a whole, particularly the disability community.
Sure. So our niche, I guess you could call it, really started with autism and then expanded into neurodiversity as a whole and the umbrella that it spans. I think that when we look at disability, we really do look at it as more neurodistinct and differently abled. And I know a lot of that sounds like marketing buzz, but we look at it as competency based. We don't want to look at it as weakness, because it's not. They're strengths. And what we look to do is get employers to see the value that is brought based on what their jobs are. So you hear people often say, we want to create jobs for those who are left out of the job market. That's not what we say. We want to enable opportunities for individuals who have the ability to really perform because they have a great skill set and they bring so much to the table. So the impact that we want to make is really holding up a lens on the fact that there's so many wonderful people who right now are not getting the employment opportunities that they should, because organizations are not accessing this incredible talent pool. And that's really what our goal is. And that's where our impact has been focused on, and where our impact will continue to focus on moving forward.
Mm-hmm. my last question is, how do you create an inclusive and welcoming environment for everyone, with disabilities? Because I know you talked a little bit about how the certain industries, I guess, are not as adequately built for people with disabilities. In other words, the system is not meeting those needs. So what needs to be done to sort of improve that?
So a couple of quick takeaways from that could be ensuring that disability and accessibility, which really does answer the point you just raised, is part of your DEI strategy. So, everybody always talks about their disability, equity and inclusion strategy. If disability and accessibility is not part of your DEI strategy, your diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy, I should say, then start again, scratch it, start again, build again, allocate a budget, make sure that you have money set aside, that it's not just talking. You're going to put your money where your mouth is. Measure the impact that you're going to make. It's really important that you're putting a real push behind the effort that you want to make, and advocate and support what it is that you're doing. If you're in a management position, if you are managing in any way, make sure that when you're working with the people who are on your team, that you're using very clear language. Don't be confusing. We all have that when we're rushing and we're going through the day, we're not clear with what we're talking about. And that isn't easy to work in an environment like that. Create opportunities where information can be shared, and make sure that the employees who work for you know what the best way is for them to communicate back so that they can do a good job, so there's no confusion. Be open to new ways to work. Our tagline is employ different thinking. There's a reason for that. It's not just about the individuals that you're hiring, their brains work differently. No, we're asking our employers, employ different thinking. The way that we think, we have to consider new ways of thinking. And last but not least, and this is a really big one, ask questions. Don't make assumptions. Ask people what their preferences are. Don't assume that just because I'm wearing glasses and I'm a female with brown hair, you automatically know something about me because of what I look like or how I sound. Ask me what I prefer. Learn something about me the same way I should learn something about you. We're going to work better together when we know more about one another. That's how I become an ally. You become an ally. I advocate for you. You advocate for yourself. And then we can become champions for each other. We become more inclusive to work together, and our environment becomes better. The environment changes, and that becomes a better workplace for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All very good points there. Yep.